what our experience has been in travel retail, and if I'll take up each three aspects of the really three modules where travel retail functions, is, for example, the airports. It has a huge amount of opportunity. I don't know if you've seen this. There's a billboard in Delhi which said the Delhi airport is used by more people than it's a population of Sweden. So obviously, we all know that in India we don't have a challenge of population, which is enough. But we also now have a discerning population as well, who are well connected to what's happening globally. They know what's the trends. They travel abroad because it's cheaper to travel from Delhi to Bangalore than it's cheaper to travel to Delhi to Dubai or Delhi to Bangkok for that matter than go to Delhi to Cochin for that matter for a holiday. So these people are exposed to what's happening internationally. Unfortunately, we've not been able to give them the same level of experience yet. And I can't say that's blame the operators, whether it's the government or whether it's the retailer. I think it's the ecosystem is yet to mature and develop to the next level. And then similar thing when we look at the metro corridors where retail has developed, and probably Delhi was always a forefront of it because really that's where although Calcutta had the metro for a long period of time, but really Delhi metro really changed the landscape of how the society of India changes with the new transportation system comes in. And it's opened up really for a lot of people to actually start using metros and giving up their cars or other forms of public transport, and opened up a huge opportunity. But did we capitalize on the opportunity? Maybe. We did not. In some formats, we did capitalize the opportunity to decongest the roads, but did we capitalize on the ecosystem around it in terms of retailing, which you see in international cities? Not yet. I think because the metro company or the government which appointed looked at it as more of a contracting job, and they just wanted to focus on the core of running the metro and wanted to give it out to private people to run the developments which is around it, whether it's developing the stations or the real estate around it. So it's kind of been a bottleneck there when we're not seeing the full potential getting unlocked. Highways still a huge opportunity which has not been tapped into yet. We've not seen highway malls. We've not seen big motels coming up. It's been the old system of maybe probably the only pioneer we've seen who's been able to do something in that space is probably a McDonald's, and they went and put up these highway stores. You see it in the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. You see it in Jalandhar. You see it in Ludhiana on the outskirts where they've put up these stores. So except that, we've seen only some initial what I would say is movement to the right step, but has it been unlocked after about 10 years of privatization and opening of these opportunities? I don't think so. There's a huge opportunity which has still been waiting to be unlocked.
Cross, for instance, has been selling in over 35 airlines internationally on 4 continents. There are some very key advantages of travel retail which we can all sort of harness. The primary advantage is that it is a channel. It is not a geography. It is segmented by channel. So any Indian businesses, for example, desirous of a global footprint, can very easily contact 3 to 4 operators. You have Dufry, DFS, you have multiple global operators. And the moment you partner with them, you could be in, for instance, in over 100 countries. There are some difficulties on working with operators which we'll come to, but travel retail is a low-hanging fruit which Indian businesses can really benefit from. Secondly, it is instant global visibility. Who doesn't want global visibility? We have many panelists here who represent Indian brands, many outside. Indian brands are really trying to reach out. Instant global visibility can be achieved quite quickly within a time frame of 0 to 2 years via the travel retail channel. Thirdly, it does represent a great shopping environment. The average travel retail shopping environment is superior to the average mall shopping environment and really aids impulse purchases. Granted, a large part of this is supported by what we call the liquor, tobacco, cosmetic, confectionery, and accessories industry. But it's a very personal time. Individuals are with themselves. Most are traveling for work or to meet a relative. Most are traveling individually. So it's a great personal time, and I think our panel team members from Apollo can sort of talk about how they have used that to their advantage as well. But it's a great opportunity to get into the mind of the shopper and get him to buy something for himself or a gift.
You know, Marks and Spencer's in India are JV partners with Reliance, and there is one airport store that they run in Delhi. It does very, very well. You know, if I have to extrapolate from our experience in that store, certainly travel retail seems to be a very good opportunity, not just for the conventional categories, but also for fashion products. I mean, M&S obviously sells apparel and footwear. Quite surprisingly, you know, at least to me, they've got about 50 odd stores, but in terms of productivity, it gives the highest productivity in the whole chain. I mean, the size, of course, is not like any other large Marks and Spencer store, but it did surprise me that it beats the productivity in some of the really good malls that they already are present in. The operating costs, of course, are high in a typical airport retail, but it also turns out that the whole store is quite profitable. So while the cost may be high, it's also an opportunity because space is restricted. You tend to put your best merchandise, best collection in, and the store is doing extremely well. The driver, of course, is the traveling man, you know, I mean, who is very focused at that point of time, has the money, and unlike the national average, I mean, this store has its highest category contribution from men's. So he's obviously buying for himself, but ladies also does well, which means there is a lot of gifting element in it. Kids does very well, you know, although in terms of the number of travelers, it's a very small percentage. So it seems like for a male, you know, who has the affordability and who takes it at this point of time, an ability to be very focused in what he's buying, this seems like a very good opportunity.
For us, when you look at travel retail for us, we encompass travel and tourism together. And when we say travel, airport is just one of the component of it. And as you can see from the numbers, we have got 2,200 outlets. Out of that, airport would contribute to close to about 10 or 15 outlets. Whereas the bigger chunk that we are looking from now is the opportunity on the railway side. The government is about to revamp close to about 6,000 railway stations. That's an opportunity. In fact, that's one opportunity which I dealt with my first job way back in 1996 when I used to sell books on the railway bookstalls. We used to work with a company called AH Wheelers, and probably when you talk of travel retail, that was a company that pioneered travel retail before 1947. So I think that's another big opportunity that we are looking at, which we want to harness. Second, when we look at travel, it is all about rapid transport system within the cities also. We have understood the concept as to how the traffic flows within the city, and we know what are the metro stations, like I come from Delhi, so we know what are the metro stations in the suburbs where the population comes at the end of the day. How they shop during the end of the day, how they shop during the start of the day. So I think this is another big opportunity which I believe can be looked at. Third is always on, of course, on the highways. I don't know how many kilometers, but little I know about 100,000 kilometers of highways that we have. Pharmacy may not be an apt example for highway retail, but the kind of usage that we see, people moving in their own cars, own conveyances, luxury travel, I think that's another big opportunity. Last point that I just want to say and leave it out here for the time being is, when we say travel, we also look at tourism as part and parcel of the travel retail. So just to give you an example from the world I come from, for us, pharmacy in Haridwar during a Kumbh Mela was also a part of a travel retail. And most probably next year in Jan we are going to do it. So these are the elements that we believe are the travel retail.